The first legs of the round of 16 Champions League knockouts are done. And as you can see, we got Dean with me. And yeah, you've got the two losers on this table tonight. And yeah, a lot of big games, a lot of goals, 17 games and 70 goals on Tuesday. And I don't know how many goals there were yesterday. It was shit ton as well there. And
And none of the English sides were able to pick up a win.
yeah, I mean, we were all saying that, oh yeah, there's 5 English teams in the knockouts, and we can't. None of us can get a point in Europe. But
Yeah.
of course, I got Dean, the Chelsea fan, with me. Of course, you can see Yusuf the City fan is here, and of course, we both got battered yesterday night. And Dean, you want to start City or just do you want to take Chelsea first?
No, we can start with City. We can start with your predictions. As you said, that they were going to batter Real Madrid. You know, Mark Gahey masterclass was coming. You know,
Oh,
what happened there?
right. Yeah, if you don't know, just check the TikTok m.yusuf.a talks. The new TikTok is out, but yeah, some tragic predictions out. You'll see my reaction afterwards on that. But yeah, I predicted Man City 3-1 win, and we ended up losing 3-0 at the Bernabeu. But yeah, to be honest, I don't know where to start. It feels like so much things happened in that game that I don't even know how to even process it. Like, I can say Morgay, he was crap. I can say Pep was crap. I can say Haaland was crap. I can say Semenyo was crap. I can say everyone is crap. But can I like? I'm not gonna go through one by one on every single person. But Morgay, he was crap. He got cooked by Valverde, who again, I don't understand why, but every time Man City and Real Madrid play, just one person has to randomly turn up. The treble season, De Bruyne had to turn up. Last year, Mbappe cooked us. This year, Valverde's turn. So it's like every year, there's one special player who just carries the entire flipping tie on their back. And this one seems to be Valverde. Of course, he gets the hat trick in their 3-0 win. And yeah, Margate, he got cooked for that last one. Got chipped around him. Hit on the volley. That was a ridiculous goal when I saw that. But yeah, look, if we're talking about the game in totality, like City started off that game well. We in that first 20 minutes, we created the most chances. We created the best chances. We had the press on them. We started with that front four, which I'll get to as well. Which I mean, again, I think it was our downfall later on as well. But we started like we were like the game was told to be. Everyone, not just me. You act like it's just me that predicted that City were gonna walk this
No,
Real
I
Madrid. You
predicted that
get
you'd win as well. Yeah, no, I
exactly.
did.
But a lot of people predicted that City were going to win, and I don't know if that fed into their mentality or Pep's mentality because that lineup was a lineup of a person thinking, yeah, we're going to smash this team. Because he went in with a two-man midfield of Bernardo Silva and Rodri, and a front four like he's playing a 4-2-4 in FIFA or something. No defending, no midfield, just straight four attackers and pray. And in the end, it didn't work. I mean, we got caught, we were naive, and it only worked for the first 20 minutes. And after that, Real Madrid figured us out. They hit one long ball over to Fribbin Valverde from Courtois, and bang, we're 1-0 down in one pass. So all that hard work we did for 20 minutes just gets chucked under the bin because Courtois can hit one long ball and we get cooked from it. And it's just like, how naive can you be? Because every single time we play Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, it feels the same sort of game. Last year, we played a high line, we couldn't defend. I was blaming the high line, I was blaming so much space in behind for Vinicius and Mbappe. This time, there's no Mbappe, there's no Bellingham. It's just Vini and Arda Güler up top, basically. And they're flipping right back and scoring a hat trick against us because he's just running it behind.
Was he actually playing right back?
Or right mid, if you want to call it that. But he was defending a lot. He was basically everyone on the pitch. I mean, Valverde again.
Yeah.
Every time we come across these Man City Real Madrid ties, we always say, "Oh, Valverde is one of the best midfielders in the world, or he's one of the most underrated players." That's the argument that comes up because against City, he lost reform. I mean, you remember the last year game? He scored a first-time volley from a crossfield pass against Felipe and our keeper. It's like, why his goal catalogue just against City could win 5 Puscases. It's like it's crazy, but yeah, again, Valverde turned up, and yeah, I think he just stole the show. Those all 3 goals were top quality. Rounded Donnarumma for one, flipping hits one on the volley as for the third one. It's like I don't know who to blame. I can blame Pep, I can blame the players, but I just feel like we're just naive. Every time we go to the Bernabeu, we're just naive, and I felt like my prediction came from they have injuries, they're in bad form. They played Getafe and got whooped 1-0, and they didn't have a chance in that game. Then they won their game before the City game. But it's just if we're not going to beat Real Madrid when they don't have Mbappe, they don't have Bellingham or Rodrigo, their 3 main best players outside of Vini, when are we going to beat them? So yeah, short. And what
No,
are your thoughts
no.
on the game?
I mean, I was obviously watching the Chelsea PSG one, so every time I'd occasionally just flick over to the other game, and it felt like you guys were creating chances. It didn't feel like a 3-0. It didn't feel like you guys were getting battered. It's more like they were just taking their chances.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, look, we'll get on to the. I have only 3 points to make. Or actually, no, forget 3. 2 points to make in terms of focus on two people that need to get blamed for this game. I think number one, I think Haaland needs to take a lot of slack for that game. I think especially because he's been in a bad run. Before it was like, Haaland does this. Middle of the season he has a bad run, but it's no longer a run. It's a bad patch. It's a bad spell. I don't know even what's longer than a run. A bad 15 games. I think in 2026 he's only scored 4 goals and 2 of them were penalties. And we're in March now. That's a ridiculous stat for a caliber of player who, at the start of every single season, looks like he's about to break the Premier League goal scoring record.
Yeah.
But he's in the middle of the season, he just turns off, switches off, the robot's turned off. And now in that game against Real Madrid, I feel like he didn't do anything to really show himself, really cause Real Madrid any problems. Again, every time he plays against Rudiger, he hardly ever has a good game against him. But if you're not going to get chances, you have to at least try and make yourself a nuisance. And I just think he was just standing duck up there yesterday. And that's one thing. And again, in those 20 minutes when we had the upper hand on them, we played like 3 balls across the box right in front of the net, and Haaland not there to tap in. Maybe Aguero in the passes would have tapped that in. Maybe Raheem Sterling in back post would have tapped that in. But we need these crosses across the goal to actually be met with some sort of player, or we're not going to score in front of the net if we're going to create those chances. And Doku, I think, one of the only players who actually tried, who actually looked like he was going to do something. Again, he had that same type of game he has against Trent, and he cooked it quite a few times. But if the player in the box is not going to meet the cross, you can call Doku a flipping ball or fizzy pop or no end product, but he's playing the ball, and if no one's going to meet him, he's not going to get that assist tally, and he's not going to get that GA that people look for. And that's one person. And then secondly, Pep Guardiola. I mean, from lineup, Savinho starting after playing 1 game post-injury against Newcastle in the FA Cup. He scored 1 goal, and what is that enough to say, oh yeah, you know what? We're playing the better of the weekend. Savinho, come jump in. Like, what? I don't understand this. Like, Turkey has been performing the entirety of the season. Okay, don't start him, but at halftime you don't bring him on and you don't bring him on till the 70th minute when we're chasing a goal and we're 3-0 down at halftime. You have to take some risk at a point. And yeah, it just did not make sense. I think the
That's
line was
mad. He didn't even bring him Cherky on at all until late.
70th minute, exactly, yeah. At half time, he took off Savinho and brought on Reinders. I thought Savinho was going to come off and bring on Cherky and try to push the game, or at least because if we go into the Etihad with 3-1, I can believe that there is something there for us. 2 goals is not that bad. This Real Madrid defense is not that good. We could get something at the Etihad for 2 goals, but 3 goals at the Etihad when all they have to do is park up for 90 minutes, I just don't see it. And yeah, Pep, I think, was extremely naive. And I just think he does this every single time he plays Real Madrid. You think if you play just a little lower, a little more cautious, you can maybe get at them. At least try to pack that midfield out. No, we played Bernardo Silva and Rodri. You're not going to get a change out of them, man. And it's sad because, of course, you go in there with such expectation because you're in the upper hand. You're in decent form. You only drop points to Nottingham Forest. Other than you won all your other games coming to this game. They're in crap form. They don't have players. They just lost Rodrigo for the entire year. They're in tragic morale, but you're coming in this with the upper hand. You never come into these games up the upper hand against Real Madrid, but we did, and we still lost terribly. So again, the only thing I can take from this is that against West Ham, I don't want to see nobody rested for that Real Madrid game in the second leg. I want to see a full stack. I want to see Haaland, Semenyo, Doku. I want to see the same exact players. I want to see everybody like that Real Madrid game doesn't exist. Like we went 6-0 down that Real Madrid game to yesterday. Oh, that second leg Real Madrid game in my head doesn't exist anymore. For that, we had to win West Ham, finish this Premier League season strong, see what happens there, and when we get to that next week Real Madrid game, we'll see what happens. Because right now it looks like we're going to need a 4-0 Real Madrid, a 4-0 against Real Madrid, like in the treble season, a miracle. We need prime KDB, prime Morris, prime Bernardo Silva to turn up at that stadium that day to win that game for us. But
do you think he'll actually commit to it? I think that's been a big topic of discussion, if whether a City or not can even or will try.
City will go for that Real Madrid title. I think that's stupid to say. Like, we're not going to just chuck away a game against Real Madrid in the Champions League. We will attempt, because it's happened. We can beat the Real Madrid team 3-0 if we turn up, perform, we set up properly. And if we don't do that, we're not going to beat Real Madrid. But again, like I said, we can't do this thing where we save for our West Ham and sacrifice that game when we need to win that game to be in a chance of the Premier League title. and then go to Real Madrid. We need to kill that West Ham team off early on Saturday or Sunday, whatever it is, on the weekend, and we need to go to the Etihad in the weekday and beat Real Madrid comfortably. That's what we need to do. That's it. I mean, how do you see the second? Not even how do you see second leg? I mean, what do you think about the game in general from that?
No, you're right. I think again, my opinion is mostly based off of what I was seeing in bits of the game, and it didn't seem like, as you have been hinting at, it's not being like you got battered in terms of control, or it's not as if you didn't create chances. It's just they played really well, and they took their chances. They scored from a goal threat that shouldn't have even existed, and the fact that it's from a
Yeah,
right mid or a right back.
you're right, but I just feel like, but as soon as they scored that first goal, City looked out of it, and after that, the performance was dead. It was done. Literally, post Valverde's goal, I think we had a 0.3 xG created, and they had like a 3 or a 4, especially with the penalty save, which we didn't even mention. Donnarumma saved us and kept us in tie for a penalty like missed from Vini. So again, we held on to that 3-0 flipping on its final thread on by a string, and yeah, we'll see what happens at the Etihad. You'll see the preview of the TikTok. Just check it out, guys. And then you know what? I think that's enough ranting from me. It's time to go for your rant now, mate. You can have fun. PSG beat Chelsea 5-2. But I think, to be honest, in my opinion, from what I saw, I think that score is quite flattering to PSG.
Flattering
Don't you think? In terms
to
of
PSG.
it
Yeah, no,
wasn't
it
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 wasn't a
is. Yeah.
5-2 performance for PSG because again Chelsea were 2-2 by the 60th minute from a good Enzo Fernandez goal, and it's just that after that Kvaradona comes on, and the fact that they can bring him off the bench and he goes and makes a flipping meal of that Chelsea defense. But yeah, God, you talk me through it, bro.
Oh, I don't even know where to start. That I mean, that's one difference between I think your prediction and mine. I did obviously, it's not back in the club, but I can't lie about what I see. Our defense is just it's been an ongoing issue with Maresca before Maresca now, and still it continues to be a problem. We do not have the centre backs to deal with the kind of pressure that PSG have. Now you might think, okay, in the Club World Cup you're able to win 3-0. But this is what I also hinted at. We were able to beat PSG because we had a system that was set up to go up against the defenders and nullify their attackers. That's what our system was based on. Whereas that game, that was Rafinha trying to go toe to toe, and you could feel it because they were creating chances in the first half. We were creating chances. It was end to end. We weren't really trying to sit back against them. It was about trying to match them. And in terms of our attackers, and their defense isn't as incredible. Of course, the fullbacks, but centre backs, it's not. They're prone to conceding goals. It's not as if I didn't trust the attackers. It was the defense. Dembele on the counter when he's running against Fofana, I was like, yeah, you know what? That's going to be a goal. When Barcola set up the shot, I was like, that's going to probably be a
Yeah.
goal. These scenarios that we were ending up in, I was like, we're going to concede. We're not set up to defend against them, and they don't have the ability to deal with these attacks where they're going to be left 1v1 or 2v2. And yeah, I think 4-1 was my prediction. I said we'd lose 4-1, even though we wouldn't play like a 4-1. And instead, we've lost 5-2, which I don't know if you see that as better or worse. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very similar thing has happened. We played really well for 75 minutes. I would say arguably the better side. I can easily just say we were crap, but we weren't. We actually played better, I would say. And then just capitulation. The goal from the mistake from Jorgensen, but the bit before that where the ball even ended up at his feet. That all happens, good goal from Vitinha. It should have been a situation where, okay, you calm the weather, you calm the storm, just get through this, take 3-2, go into the next leg, whatever, it's fine. He's been criticized before for not being defensively careful, like against Leeds, Burnley,
Yeah.
trying to sit back or trying to hold on to a result that he couldn't hold. And he should have done something like that against PSG brothers. He instead then took off João Pedro and Cole Palmer. He brought on players like Garnacho, Delap,
Dilap Garnacho.
and then it was even worse because they scored the fourth goal. I think Richem tried to play a through ball into Delap. He gets caught on the ball. They score. Obviously, Kvaratskhelia, a great goal from his perspective, from PSP's
Yeah.
perspective. These were really well taken goals. But I'm just watching it, thinking this was so avoidable. If you just took the 3-2 lead, 3-2 defeat into the next leg, where we're going to be at home, and we've seen PSG last year, even in that treble-winning season, when they went to the away grounds, it wasn't as easy. You think of Villa, you think of Emirates, and Anfield. Yes, they won those ties, but they were battles. Now you've created a situation where we're going to have a really big battle ourselves, and come back from a 3-goal deficit instead of just a simple 1 or 2. So, very similar concerns of mine when it comes to you. It's just our one was so much more avoidable. So much more avoidable when we
Yeah.
had a good result for most of the game.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. I feel like of course you guys went toe to toe, but I feel like at 2-2, you guys, I think you reached your limit. You couldn't get that. What's it called? Like you went toe to toe with them for that 60 minutes, and I felt like at 60 minutes is like a perfect time to kind of have a mentality change, have a switch off, switch into maybe we take this result to the what you call it, to Stamford Bridge. We'll talk about the other results in the what you call Champions League, but a lot of those results, yeah, they're crap results. Like Arsenal, they drew 1-1 against Leverkusen. It's crap result. They played crap the entire game, but a 1-1 they could take to the Emirates and still go through. And a Galatasaray Liverpool, they lost 1-0 in Turkey, but a 1-0 result they can still bring back at Anfield. A 5-2 loss to PSG, is it savable at Stamford Bridge? I don't know. Is a 3-0 loss at the Bernabeu a savable at the Etihad? I don't know. There is question marks there. At a point, you just have to say we'll take it to our home stadium and collect some points there. But yeah, I mean, how do you see it? Do you think it is savable here, or is this done?
As I said in the prediction, we'll probably have a heroic performance. We'll play really well. I think of like Villa last year when they nearly pulled off the comeback.
PSG can concede goals
They
though.
can, and we've been good in the Champions League at the Bridge. Obviously, we beat Barca 3-0. It's not impossible. I think now calming down from yesterday and thinking about it, it's not impossible. But my issue again is going to be those scenarios where PSG will inevitably be through on goal. They will have scenarios where they'll have attacks that we're just going to inevitably concede because we're trying to chase the game. It's about, can you deal with those situations, and my team's shown me that they can't. I'm already seeing goals we shouldn't concede. Now we're going to be chasing the game, and our mentality is going to be that there is nothing else to do but attack. One or two goals, if we concede them, it's done. So we'll put up a good performance, but whether we go through or not, I don't think so.
Okay, I understand that. I mean, I feel like your game will make it a little bit more. It's because PSG. PSG are another type of team. Like they're not gonna go to Stamford Bridge and sit back, are they? They're gonna still go for those goals. They're gonna still try play football, and because that's the mentality. They try outscore teams, to be honest. And I think you guys will have chances, but yeah, I mean, I just think your defense will concede goals. Like there's
All it takes
no
is
way you
1 or
won't.
2 goals, and it just
And
changes
it's
the whole
done.
tie completely.
It's
Yeah.
exactly the same for us as well. If Real Madrid score only one goal, we could go 1-0 up first, but if they score one goal and make it a 4-1 on aggregate, we're finished. The tie is done. So yeah, us two are in a bleak position. Bleak position.
No, it's not
Um,
fun being in a similar position to Spurs and I don't know who else to compare
yeah,
to.
we were making fun of Spurs that did the flipping the night before, how they
Yeah.
went like 5-1 down or whatever it was, and yeah, now we're Spurs. We're in that same position. We're finished. But talking about Spurs and the other Champions League games, we might as well quickly touch up on some of the other big results. Of course, last night Arsenal by Leverkusen 1-1. I think Bayer Leverkusen kind of missed a chance to really put
They played really
some
well,
pressure.
That was one of the probably best performances I've seen against Arsenal this season.
I think so, but I just think Arsenal were just not up to the races, man. Like a lot of their chances that Bayer Leverkusen created, whatever, came from Arsenal mistakes or Arsenal sloppy play, if you know what I mean. And also that striker they had up top, I don't know his name.
Yeah, he
He's
was
a young
really good,
striker, he debuted.
He dealt with
Yeah,
every time Gabriel was on
Cavani.
him, he pushed him out of the way.
Yeah, I
That
think he
was
did a lot
interesting.
of good hold up play, and I think a lot of the play did come from him. But yeah, I think Bayer Leverkusen missed chances in that game.
They also
Same
got
with
lucky.
Newcastle.
Andrik, I
Yeah,
think the guy that scored, he could have been sent off, I think, in the first half.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, but again, I mean, Arsenal. Abid was saying already as well. Arsenal did not. All 11 players did not perform. Of course, they got saved by a very rash decision from Tillman in the box at the end of the game. To
Oh, that annoyed me
yeah,
so much. Going for a slide tackle from behind there. Like, what is he doing?
yeah,
Why?
it's good. But yeah, I mean, again, that is still savable for Arsenal, and I think they will still go through at the Emirates easily. Same with, I mean, same kind of thing can be said about Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle missed a lot of chances, but I think the main standard for that game is Lewis Hall against Lamine Yamal. Lewis Hall, a very,
I do
very
think the
good game.
system really helped, though. Like, Barca's highline really helped. Not to discredit how good he was, but
Yeah, you're right.
a lot of the scenarios, where he dribbled past or was through, Instead of having to
Yeah.
hold the ball up or turn back, because their line was so high, he could just play the through ball. So it's like
Yeah, you're
that. He
right. And
benefited off
I'm
of
not
that.
saying that as
So
well. I mean, I think Lewis Hall also, I mean, he defended Lamine Yamal as well the entire game. That's like one of
yeah,
the
of
first
course,
games
yeah. I
where
just
I
wanted to
think,
point out like a lot of
yeah, you're
scenarios
right.
where it just it happens against
Again,
Barcelona.
but you say I think Barcelona, of course, they're the type of team that do play the high line, and to get them, you can find a lot of space behind them, but it's about really can you capitalize off those spaces
Yeah,
because
no,
they're
of course,
very good at
it's still a
recovery.
great performance. I
Yeah,
just noticed that a lot of the clips, right? You're just seeing him play through ball after through ball, and it's like, well,
yeah.
Barca, that's just how they are. So it's gonna make sometimes a player can look really good when the game is set up in a manner that allows them to be that good. I think.
Yeah, that's right. And another tight game was the Galatasaray 1-0 win against Liverpool. Liverpool, again, shocking game from them. They're in a bad run of form. And to be fair, I predicted a Galatasaray win. I said 2-0 Galatasaray, but they ended up getting 1-0. Again, I think my only main concern is the Galatasaray away from home, outside of Turkey, aren't that good. They do struggle a lot. And I think go to Anfield, one of the biggest away nights you can have in Europe. There's a big chance for them. But again, I think they got the players. Osman had a very good game in
Hmm.
against Liverpool that night. He's had it earlier in the league phase as well. And yeah, I mean, Liverpool's defense looked shaky. I don't know if you saw the Galatasaray goal. Kanate was crawling around the ground trying to save that goal. It's
Then
crazy.
the offside goal as well when
Yeah,
he made the mistake and then the ball just kind of bounced off him and
yeah, exactly. So again, Liverpool's defense don't look good, and Kanate looks like his head is actually in Madrid. It looks like so. We'll see what happens with that. And to be honest, all the other games very convincing. I mean, again, 3-0 win for Bodo Glimt against Sporting Lisbon. That AstroTurf pitch, bro.
yeah, there's something
People,
about
people were telling me about C when we lost there that it was embarrassing. I was saying, no, bro, AstroTurf, bro. I'm telling you, Mark Gay doesn't like AstroTurf as well, bro. I'm telling you, it's a tough place to go. Norway, in Norway, they get a comfortable win and look like they should be through. Other than some upsets there in Portugal next week. And other than that, Atletico Madrid beat Tottenham 5-2. I think a lot of people expected this. I think I said 4-1 or something, so
we
they're a little
did, but
bit
it's
above the
not in the
tier.
manner that it happened. I think it was four
Yeah, you're right.
goals in the like first 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was no, it's 4 goals in like the 22nd minute, basically. Again, first three of them coming from a Kinski mistake. It's the three of them coming from 15 minutes. Kinski. I mean, you have to feel sorry for the kid because
Is he a
yeah,
kid? Is he
yeah, he's
old or
22. He's 22.
oh? I thought it was like a
He's young.
backup older keeper. He's young. Okay.
No. He's young. They signed him to play in the academy, I'm pretty sure, or something like that. But yeah, again, the 22-year-old makes three mistakes. 15 minutes in, they're 3-0 down. Gets subbed off in the 70th minute. I mean, when I saw that, I was like, bro, subbing a keeper 17th minute on your Champions League. I think it's a Tottenham debut. No, actually, no, Champions League debut. And yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, what were your thoughts when you saw that? I mean, is he right to take him off a 17th minute? Because that could kill a player. I mean, that did kill a player.
Well, I mean, why did he start him? Why did he start
Yeah.
Kinski that in that manner? In such a big game, so confusing. And if you didn't rate him enough to manage the game after the 17 minutes, he shouldn't have started. I know Vicarius had his
Yeah.
issues, but that was a very big decision to make, and he went back on it so quickly. And then
Yeah.
the bit after where he just kind of blanked him, like it's just
Yeah, it's
you
crazy.
can feel it's a mess over there. You can feel it.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe it's a good thing for Tottenham because they can actually focus on the Premier League relegation scrap. But yeah, again, Alvarez and Lookman both look good in that game. Alvarez with 2 goals, 1 assist. I think Griezmann looked good in that game, a goal and assist for him. So yeah, I mean, Atletico, I'm not saying they'll go far. I think they will have to play Barcelona if Barcelona go through the Newcastle game, or they'll play either of them. So again, they could still make a deep run in the Champions League. And then finally, looking at the favourites of the Champions League so far, Bayern Munich 6-1 away from home in Italy. I mean,
Without Kane even starting, Jackson was up
yeah,
front.
Jackson's up front. Kane's still out with a bit of an injury. Musiala coming back to the team, gets the goal as well at the final part of the
But I
game.
think the main guy
Michael
would probably
Elise,
be Elise, main guy.
I mean,
Yeah.
ex Chelsea graduate. Just have to slip that in, man.
Is
You
he a
guys missed
graduate?
that. Was he? I'm pretty sure he
No,
did
it was
finish
just he was
Chelsea.
linked to us a lot. Remember, we should
Oh,
have signed him so many
oh yeah,
times.
when he was at Palace and then he signed the contract.
Yeah, but it's fine. We
Yeah,
got Gittins and Delap and Garnacho and
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
It's fine.
yeah. It's fine. I think you guys are good. But yeah, Michael Elise. I don't know what to say. I mean, he's not been talked about a lot because, of course, Bayern Munich players don't really get talked about a lot because their league is quite easy. But Michael Elise, the quality on display in Europe when he comes in, ridiculous. I think he got 10 out of 10 on Full Mob. and SofaScore and stuff. And yeah, a lot of talk about him making a deep run Champions League with Bayern Munich. And what are your thoughts on Bayern Munich then? Do you think they can make it deeper? Do you think they're favourites for the final? I mean,
I
they are
mean,
on.
I've experienced them in the Champions League earlier when we lost, I think 3-1.
Yeah.
For large parts of that game, I did feel like, yeah, this team is a different level. Yeah, I think Company's finally got things clicking. He knows which kind of players he prefers, and he has a core group of players that he can trust. Kimmich for me, I think has gone under the radar. I think
Yeah.
in terms you
I
think
think
of
last
best
season he
midfielders
was
in the
quite good as
world.
well.
Yeah, you think of like best midfielders in the world. We obviously always are mentioning the Rices, Caicedos, Vitinhas, and that. But I think Kimmich really this season has been a different level. He looks so much more composed. I don't know if you saw the goal against Dortmund. He
Yeah,
scored
yeah, yeah.
with the volley. He just looks complete. He's just one of them players that you can feel the experience. I remember when he came up, he was compared to Lahm and just being that kind of regen of him. But he's kind of come into his own player in that midfield. And
Mm.
yeah, no,
I mean,
Kimmich,
I
like
think,
you mentioned.
yeah. I mean, I was gonna say as well. I mean, I just feel like this Bayern Munich team. There's not actually like a a lot of quality. If you know what I mean, I can't explain it. Like
Like
the
the
players
world
that they're
class names they
fielding.
used to have. They used to have world
Yeah,
class names everywhere. Yeah,
exactly,
it's not the
everywhere,
same.
exactly. And they don't really have that. Like they used to have like those people like Sami Khedira and all the players that used to come and play for Bayern Munich. And
Khedira.
was Khedira? Well, I think of Khedira. I don't know.
All
I don't
players
know
to
why I
mention.
got Khedira. I don't know whatever. But I don't know why I said Khedira. I don't know what happened there.
You have so many players you
But
could have named. Oh my dear.
but no. I was thinking of something else. Khedira was to do with something else. Don't worry. Use TikTok for that. But well, I mean, the players that they have, they still starting Lima, still starting Stanisic, they're still starting Pavlovic, Gnabry still kicking about in their team. A lot of players that a lot of people might have written off previously. There's companies still getting a tune out of them, alongside, of course, the world class players like the Elise, like the Luis Diaz, like the Musiala Kemal, like the Kimmich. But he still has these players like Nicholas Jackson that are kind of threaded in this team, but he's making do, if you know what I mean. And
Yeah, no, you're right.
yeah, I think that's a lot of props to Vincent Company. Please come see. Um, and other
You're
than
getting
that,
Maresca. You're gonna enjoy Maresca.
no, please don't,
You're
man.
gonna have Maresca and you're gonna enjoy it.
I just lost 3 to Real Madrid, and you'll give me this news, man. We can't do this. It gets
Uh,
worse. But yeah, nah. I mean, look, Vince Company, please come. But yeah, it looks like Bayern Munich look like the favorites. I mean, of course, if they beat Atlanta, well, I say if they beat Atlanta, when they beat Atlanta, and they go past them, they will probably at this moment in time have Real Madrid, and then they'll have I don't know, maybe
Probably
one PSG,
PSG or
maybe.
something. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's the route to the final. It's a difficult route, but if I see a team that actually can go and beat Real Madrid and PSG, and then go to the final, maybe play Arsenal or Barcelona, I think Bayern Munich is a team that could go and beat them. And I mean, yeah, I can't really say anything else. I mean, their quality, at least say 2 goals and assists. Everyone just looks on form. Bayern Munich is just too good of a team to even. There's nothing bad to say. There's no weak point I can't see at this moment in time.
It makes what they said. No, it makes the Arsenal result. And obviously, it's the group stage. It's a different phase, but it just makes that Arsenal result all the more scarier. They
Yeah,
beat them so convincingly, and now it's like, wow, if that's our final
maybe.
matchup, I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
not going to be
well, it's gonna be a tentative
particularly
game, isn't it?
excited.
And in Hungary, so yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, look, we'll talk about those games when they come around. But at this moment in time, that is our Champions League round of 16 first legs. We'll do predictions for the second leg or how we see the rest of it going through later on down the week. But that is our instant reaction. Me and Dean are not very happy. Abid is slightly
I was
happier.
so excited for the Champions League, man. I was like, finally, the football season's kicking off. Prem's
Yeah,
being the Prem, and there were so many goals. Entertainment for sure, but
yeah.
it just hasn't gone right for us.
Yeah, like that Tuesday night, I was sitting there like, wow, there's so many goals, man. It's so entertaining. Champions League is back. And now I'm just sitting here like, F the Champions League. Champions League overrated. Time to go watch the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup final, bro. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is our reaction to the games yesterday and for this week. We'll see you guys next week and take care.
Yeah, take care.